What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream from the Scalar Learning channel. And today we are knocking out a vid right here. SAT math, I just got my score. Now what? So hopefully if you're here, I'm just going to quickly test my audio, make sure it's looking good. Yep, all right, we're good. Oops. Hold on. I'm hearing.
Today
Wait.
we are knocking out a vid.
There we go. Sorry. The vid was playing on my computer too, so you're hearing double audio. Anyways, if you're here today, you probably got your SAT score, or about to get your SAT score back. And I just wanted students to jump on and get an opportunity to talk about it. I see Amit Schichter, what's up? And Ishan said his score a 1250. And okay, I see some other people talking. Okay, cool. Thank you, Incognito, Inconspicuous, Abed Hero. Congratulations on the 790. That's amazing. So I wanted this to be essentially a chance or a platform for people to ask questions like you literally what is title, right? You just got your score. Now what do I do? Right? So did you hit your target score? Did you exceed it? Did you get below what you wanted or needed or thought you needed? And we can sort of talk about it and ask questions. Nazia, yeah, thank you for that. Congrats on the 800. That's amazing. For anything, like for example, Ishan, you said you got a 1250. I'd love to know your math score, and I'd also love to know how many you got wrong, just to get an idea of the curve. Al Amin Babewale, I see you got a 1310. Can you tell us what you got on the math portion? And then because what I want to do today is I want to see if we can flesh out the curve a little bit. And again, remember, do not discuss actual test questions from the SAT. We're not allowed to do that, so we're not going to do that. So just make sure don't write anything or ask about anything specific, but we're just going to talk about the scoring and what to do next. So some Infinity asks, after each administration of the SAT, College Board reviews some scores to help ensure that the scores we deliver are valid. I got this today. Anything to worry about? Review some scores. You got that email. It depends. I can't say for sure what that means. They might be just running extra verification. Maybe something got flagged in the system and they're just doing a good faith check to make sure everything looks okay. So I probably wouldn't worry, but I can't tell you for sure if that means X, Y, or Z specifically. Okay. Ishan, you got a 7, 10, and 10 wrong? That's a good curve. Wait, that's a great curve. Okay, look, let me show you something. Past SAT curves. Now, this is a little bit of older information from College Pan. I should have had this pulled up. Let me show you guys this. That is a crazy curve. I'd love to get more verification on this from other folks as well, right? But that's a 48, right? And if you got a 710, that means it's literally one of the most generous curves of all time, 48 out of 58. Joy got the same thing, 10 wrong and a 710. Beautiful. Aaliyah, if you wouldn't mind letting us know, and Al, I mean, if you wouldn't mind letting us know, guys, like how many you got wrong, that'd be really valuable information, I think, for other people who are still waiting for their scores. But so far, that means it's a phenomenal curve. Okay. And I heard the no calculator section was super hard. Okay, wow, crazy good curve. That's so great to hear, because that's going to be good for everybody who took this August SAT. Yeah, all my lives. So Zany P said, can I save this live? All these lives get saved. So that's 680 in math from AI Amin, right? That's 680 in math. Can you tell us how many you got wrong? That'd be amazing to know. Okay, so what would be a study plan for October SAT for a better score? Okay, that's a great question. So Ariz asked what would the plan be? Now, obviously, I can't give like I could give a generalized plan, but you really would want something specific for you. So let's say you're trying to get a better score. It depends on, let me see if you put what you got. Yeah, Ariz, I'm not sure what you got on this score and what you're trying to get to in terms of the math. But what I would say is I would do some analysis now. So first of all, you're not going to be able to get the actual questions back because August test is always unreleased. So that's an issue. October will be released, so you can see exactly what you got right and wrong, and you can tailor a plan accordingly. But what I would do is, to the best of your recollection and ability, I would try and remember the types of questions, the types of problems that you got wrong, and focus on those areas in particular. One thing to do, and I know it sounds like I'm just promoting my own channel, but I do have this really amazing series of videos, all free. And if you're trying to specifically focus on math, let me show you, hold on. Let me show you the series in particular that I think would be the best for you guys. We'll go here to view your channel. And it is this series, the SAT Math Critical Concepts. So what I'll do is I'm going to put this in the link. But this will be probably your best spot to start in terms of really doing a full review of everything for the SAT math section. Another thing that would be great, hold on, SAT Math Formula Bible. This is another one of my really good videos. So this one right here. You know, check, like you should know every formula in this video, no exceptions. So I would start sort of with these vids and make sure your fundamentals and your foundations are good. Okay, let's see what other we got. Yeah, the curve was crazy good. Yep. 680 in math, 760 in math, 700 in math. Okay, oh, that's digital SAT. Okay, got it. My super scores are 1300. Ishan 710 in math. I highly recommend this 4-part series on math. Oh, amazing. Thank you, Nazia. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's good stuff. 700 in math and 460. I'm going to retake now. By the way, for people telling me the scores and how many they got wrong, when you got the 7, 10, and 10 wrong, was that for the digital or Ishan? And was that for the digital or was that for the domestic? Maybe it's the same. I don't know. You're looking at scholarship opportunities for someone international. Got a 1520. Wow. Okay. What I'm going to send you is scholarship opportunities. I made a video called Everything You Need to Know About the SAT. Hold on. Everything You Need to Know About SAT. A lot of these you can just search like this. Yeah, this is my vid right here. So there's a section in here where I talk about scholarships specifically for the SAT here. You can see that. Let's fast forward a little bit so you don't have to play the audio. But anyways, so these are just some examples, right? A lot of these are specific to schools. So what I would do is I would look at schools, because I don't know if there's a site that shows or actually, I think there might be. I think that's where I pulled these. I can't remember. It might even be through the College Board, but look at school-specific scholarships. I mean, look, University of Missouri, I don't know if these are on your list of what you want, but like, look at this. You can just get cash, 15 grand, because you got above it, you got a 1520. This video is almost 2 years old though. So bear that in mind. There might be different opportunities, new opportunities. Some of these might be outdated, but this is the idea. So go to school specific stuff. Okay. And see what else. Paper SAT. All right, Ishan, that's really good to know. I just want to know how to improve English score. Math is easy, but English is horrible. Okay. Let me share some English vids with you guys right now. From our resident English expert, Olivia. English SAT, Olivia. Let's see if these pop up here. Okay, so this video is really good. I'm going to post it in the link. 1 second. All right. Olivia's been doing this for a super long time. She's very, very dialed in for the English portion. She's amazing. So check that out. She's actually a professional writer, does all sorts of cool stuff. So see that video for you guys looking for English help. Okay. Let's see. By the way, another thing I would say is for people looking to what to do going forward in terms of studying for the SAT or October or whatever, November, whatever test date. If you didn't take a ton of practice tests this time around, that's a mistake. You need to take as many practice tests as possible in the next few weeks or whatever time you have available. Like my students, I have them take tons and tons of practice tests. Even in a summer, you can burn through 15, 20, something like that. So if you didn't do that and you didn't get the optimal score, that's probably an important reason why it didn't come out the way you wanted to. So go in and knock that out. Okay, Nazia, that's a great score, mid 700s for the reading. Wow, that's phenomenal. Yeah, all right, Hassan, check that video and see if that's helpful. All right, anybody else got stuff to share or have questions for me about what to do next? I also have pulled up the U.S. News Compass report if anybody wants to talk about specific schools or whatever. If you have a lot of time, since the curve was good, does it mean October curve will be bad? Not necessarily. So Prince Jangsha, I'll tell you this. I've looked at a lot of data in terms of the whatever, the curve, if you want to call it that. It's really not a curve, but I've looked at a lot of data, and the thing is, there's not like a discernible pattern, in my opinion, in terms of the difficulty of the curve and the test date. Or now, I haven't actually looked to see if they sort of alternate hard, easy, or whatever you want to say. But the general idea is this. The College Board uses something called equating. It's not actually an after-the-fact curve. What they do is they make the test, and then they go through some analysis, internal. I don't know what they do, but they make a determination on the difficulty of the test, and they say, hey, this is a really difficult test. As such, we're going to say that, like, this one was probably really hard. 10 wrong is a 710. Normally, like, a 7 wrong might be a 710. So based on that difficulty, okay, or their perceived difficulty, they set the curve accordingly. Now, will they do 2 back-to-back, like, consider, difficult math portions? I don't know. And I don't know if they have a protocol for that. So bottom line is, I don't think we can say definitively one way or the other. But what I can say is the way that they try to do the equating process is that everybody's going to get a fair shot, right? It's not like, oh man, people who took the August will have a huge advantage versus October, because it's balanced according to the perceived difficulty, if that makes sense. Somebody here. All right. So, okay. Nazia said, if you have a lot of time, improve your literacy, analysis skills, and price strategies. Oh, she's giving tips. Awesome. Yeah. I think I agree with that. Mr. Pickle Noodle says 730 in math, not digital. Would you mind telling me, Mr. Pickle, how many math questions you got wrong? I'd love to know a 730, what that equates to. Was it 8 wrong, 9 wrong, etc.? 1560 for Dil Joshi. That's amazing. Congratulations. 780 in math Khan Academy test. All right, great. Congratulations. That's going in the right direction. What do you think we should prepare DPSAT? What do you think we should prepare DPSAT to get a good score? Not sure what you mean by that question. I mean, are you saying what resources to use or how much prep time you should use? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but obviously you should take lots and lots of practice tests if you're aiming for a killer DPSAT score. Well, I'm going to do videos on the digital PSAT as well, probably in the next 2 weeks. Improving my analysis in English can be through reading books, just practicing. Yeah, I agree. I'm unsure how to check without the extra fee. Got it. Oh, so your score report doesn't say, wait, but it should say how many you got wrong. But if it doesn't, or if you can't find it, no worries. And want to apply all EA, should I retake the SAT? Well, I don't know. It depends on your score. It depends, Ishan, I'm talking to you. It depends on your score. It depends on the schools you're applying to and what scores they're kind of looking at, and so on and so forth. So it's a hard question to answer without more information. How many times would you recommend taking the SAT? Is it bad taking it more than 4 times? The College Board themselves recommended take it at least twice. And I think you should take it at least 3 times personally. Now, is there a point at which it starts to hurt you? I don't think, okay, let me put it like this. I think if you're starting out and you're like, I want to take it 5 times, I don't know if that should be the objective. Like, even with my students, I'm aiming to get them in and out in one test if possible. So let's say so I wouldn't be like, hey, I'm going to take 5 tests so I can take the first one without any prep. I wouldn't approach it that way. What I would say is, if you've already taken it 3 times and you don't have anything close to what you want, I would just go for it and take the 4th thing. Now, will that have slightly diminishing returns? I don't have actual concrete proof that it will, because I think every college application, college admissions counselor might have a slightly different view, and it depends on how they look at the numbers, and it depends on how they can publish the numbers, right? Because a lot of these schools are using the numbers to bolster their rankings on the U.S. News and World Report. So these will all be different considerations for each school. But what I would say is, what do you have to lose? If you're already taking it the 3 times, and you have to take it a 4th time because you didn't get what you wanted, what do you have to lose? You knock it out of the park the 4th time and you present that score. They might say, well, you took it 3 times, but it took you 4 times to get it, so we're not going to weigh it as heavily as somebody who knocks it out of the park the first time. Like, that could be a thing, but you still have nothing to lose. Also, most schools super score. If you go back to the everything you need to know about the SAT video, I give the list there in terms of what schools super score, and most super score. Okay, so if most of them super score, they're combining the best and the best, boom, sending it off. And then so some of these schools that super score, they're not even going to see the other tests. They only see the top of this and the top of that, and boom. Then there's some schools that do request all the tests, so that's how I would view it. Or that's how I would approach it. But math is type finished. Thank you, Incognito Inconspicuous. Really appreciate it. Let's see. Any advice improving passport to advanced mathematics? Well, I would say, Joy, go to the advanced passport to advanced. Here, where is it? It's right here. This is passport to advanced mathematics. Let me see if I can share this video with you. Hold on. Here, I'll put it in the chat so you can check it out. Here. Oh, where'd it go? All right. There's my advice for advanced passport. I would just literally hit that critical concept video. This person is called K. Let's see. It says, thanks so much for everything. Math has always been my weak subject. Still not great, but your videos were a godsend. I got a 1430, 750 reading and writing, 680 math, and I used to get like 510 math. Wow. You're an angel. Well, hey, that's so dope. I love hearing that because math is masterable. It's masterable. You can really make massive improvements and grow substantially in the math portion. Reading can too, of course, but like, you know, I've seen it in math over and over. All right, let's see. What else do we have? Yeah, so no other comments really as of yet. By the way, you know what? Another video I should post is I already posted it, right? The SAT Math Formula Bible. Yeah, I posted that. Okay. So, guys, this is your time. If you got more questions or more things you want to share with me. Prince Chung, is it true that the math section on the actual test is way harder than the? No, it's not true. Well, what do you mean by practice test? I don't know what practice test you're referring to, but if you're referring to official College Board practice test, no. Because, I mean, most of the released official tests, they're official. So there's, it's the same thing. And then a lot of the official practice tests are previously real SATs that were administered. So no. The only thing I would say is if you're looking at the official practice tests 1 through 10, minus 2 and 4, right? Those are a little bit older, and they don't take into account some of these newer trends in problem types and so on and so forth. So that's the only thing I would say to be aware of in some of the older tests. They just don't have like some of these sufficient but not necessary to prove things that, you know, they didn't really have those types of geometry problems as much in the past that they do now. By the way, if you guys could drop a like, that would be so helpful. Every like, all this little engagement helps grow the channel. So we really appreciate it. How many times should I take the SAT? You know, this question is nuanced, right? Like I said, if you knock it out of the park the first time and you've kind of done the analysis, you know what you need, you know what you want, and you get it, why keep going? Because you can devote that time to other things. Now, if you're on the bubble and you're close and you think you can do better and you really have it in you to do that, and you can balance with the rest of your obligations, you can take it again. But I don't see a point to being like, I'm going to definitely take it 3 times. Like I would prep as hard as possible for that first go around and try to knock it out of the park. I've had so many students that have hit their target score or exceeded their target score on the first go round, and they don't have to take it again because there's other things you need to focus on as well in the application process. Okay. Ariz is saying resources for the digital PSAT. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, there's not a ton of stuff out there yet, but I would use the 4 practice tests that have been released by the College Board for the digital SAT. I think they released 1 digital practice test as well. I'm going to make a video for the digital practice test, and you can use that as well. But I think if after that, the math concepts, I'll talk about the math in particular. If you're talking about the math, you could still then, after that, go back to other resources for the traditional domestic paper version of the SAT because the math concepts are still going to be the same. It just might be some stylistic differences. You got a 700 on the August digital SAT. That's awesome. That's a great baseline to improve quickly. If you saw, I've already posted previously in the chat the vids for my critical concept series as well as the SAT Formula Bible. Those are 2 vids that you should definitely hit. In math 730 to 780, boom, Hasham, congratulations. 780 is fantastic. If you wouldn't mind telling me how many you got wrong for that 780, I'd love to know. We're getting a really good idea of the curve here already. We know that 10 wrong is a 710. Let's see, practice blue press tests. How many practice tests would you recommend? Great question. If you're talking about like what I shoot for with my kids, I'm trying to get them 20 to 30 practice tests before they take the SAT. If we have enough time and all that, somewhere in that zone, you know, And there's so much. There's so many available practice tests, official practice tests. There's College Panda is an amazing resource with even harder practice tests. So, yeah, I would just do as many as you can. I got into the high 700, but I'd say at least you should take at least like 15 minimum. I got high 700s consistently. Would you recommend just focusing on pacing and few concepts? I wouldn't focus on pacing. I think pacing is a made-up thing. I've made videos on this about time management on the SAT and like how you can quote-unquote pace and, you know, where you should be at this question and that question. But then at the end of the video, I'm like, but in reality, you shouldn't even focus on timing and pacing, because really you get your own rhythm and you get fast enough by just focusing on practicing and focusing on the content. That's your best bet. And anyways, if you think about it, what's the point of moving faster? Because if you're like, if you need more time on a question, but you know you're going to get it, you should spend more time on that question. And then the chances are that the harder questions are going to be, you're going to have a lower probability of getting those right. So use that time. It's not like you should always get through everything. Now you should get through all them easy and medium. And that's really easy to figure out, right? It's the first 2/3 of each section with the multiple choice, and the first, I'd say, half or 2/3 of the free response. So as long as you get to those, you're maximizing your chances. Okay, let's see. For 1560 first SAT. Congratulations, Cookie. Any suggestions for DSAT English? I put some stuff in there, but we don't have good videos yet, I'd say, on the English part of the digital SAT. What do you think about practice tests on curve breakers? Never used them. I've never used them. And honestly, at this point, we don't have enough information, in my opinion, about what the digital SAT looks like to even get a read on how the quality of a lot of these new platforms and apps that are popping up. And I think, you know, it's like, it's just tough. I'm going to eventually start exploring some of these resources, and then I'm going to try and take as many of these digital SATs as I can in the next year, and then I'll really get a better idea. But for now, it's a bit of a guessing game. All right, let's see. 420, 460 on my performance range for the digital SAT. Yeah, so Nana, I don't have it specifically for digital SAT algebra, but like my critical concept videos, again, cover the math. So the foundational math on the algebra thing that I already posted in the chat is going to be good for you. Okay, let's see. Should I take the paper SAT or wait for digital when I take the SAT the next time? Well, if you already prepared for the paper version, I would take the paper again for sure. You know, because the English parts have changed pretty substantially. The math, I would say not so much. But I don't see an advantage in waiting. There's so much good information on the original current paper version that's out domestically for U.S. students. I would definitely use that while it's still available. So I do till 15. Well, I would do more than 15, Sam, but I would say, yeah, do at least 15. Is it possible to write October SAT after writing? Yeah, of course it is. You can still register late, though. You have to pay a little bit of an extra fee. But late registration, actually, I have it up here. It is, pulled it up just in case. So you can go until September 26th for the late registration. So yeah, you can definitely still take it. Okay, let's see. Maka Swampert. I got a 1480 on my SAT with a 780 in reading, but my best is still a 1490 with a 760 in math. 1480. Wow, but I'm trying to be the finalist for National Merit Scholarship. Do they consider super score? Great question. I don't know the answer to that. Let me see. National Merit Scholarship super score. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. So okay, wait, let me see. Because I know they generally look at the PSAT. No, they won't. Yeah, but this is for your PSAT. Hold on. Yeah, so it looks like this came up and they don't super score, unfortunately. I'm really sorry about that. I think they would be great if they did, but yeah, okay, so somebody's asking the question of, do colleges prefer one section over the other? like what I can say is this, right? Because to give you a really good answer, I'd have to know all the college counselors. I'd want to talk to them because it probably varies from school to school. My assumption would be, which is just a logical assumption, that if you are going into something math focused or engineering or whatnot, I would say, yeah, they probably would look at your math score more intently, and then vice versa if you're going in something more English related. Do paper and digital versions have the same curve? I highly doubt it because they're different. And the English, look, by the way, I don't know for sure. I could be wrong, but I highly doubt they're the same. Do I think the paper is better than the digital? I mean, I think if you have the option, you should prepare for the paper because there's just so much more intel on it. There's so much more data, and there's so much more good practice materials that are vetted. So that's why I wouldn't say it's better. I think the digital version eventually will be better. I think it's great. It improves access. You can use Desmos. Like, so many things make it a better setup. But currently, if you have the option, I would take that, Hasham was something about, hey, guys, don't talk about actual test material in the chat, okay? Let's see. I'm gonna have to move that one. Okay. Okay. So somebody said, what did they say? 1480. No. Do college prefer? Okay. How do you recommend to overcome one bad section that affects all the other sections? One bad section. I don't really know what you mean by that. One bad section that affects all the other sections, but not sure what you mean. But if you're saying like, hey, my English was good, my math was problematic, then yeah, I would focus on math while still continuing to just do a little bit of continuous English work. Okay, guys. I am going to have to jump off. I hope this was useful for you guys. I hope this was helpful. And message me if you have additional questions. You can leave a comment on the video, and I'll do my best to get back. The channel is definitely growing a lot, and we get a lot of comments and a lot of messages. But I will absolutely try my best. You guys know if you do comment, I do try and respond to as much as I can, as much as possible. Richard got that 770 in math. Amazing. Congratulations. Richard, how many did you get wrong? I'd love to know how many you got wrong. Okay. I just want to see if Richard responds. Yeah, the Dr. John Chung stuff, I think it's just old. They did it before 2016. They haven't updated it as far as I know, so I don't know. You going to do ACT math? Yeah, for sure. I've got a bunch of ACT math stuff already up. Hi, Huzefa, watch your upload streams for SAT walkthroughs and really solidify my GR. Hey, congratulations on that 14. 5 wrong. 5 wrong is a 770. What a good curve. So 5 wrong, 770. 10 wrong, 710. Amazing, amazing info. So those of you who are waiting for your scores, that's good news. We got a nice gentle curve, okay? All right, guys, I got to dip. I got to jump off. Happy weekend. Happy Friday. Best of luck for those of you who got your scores are now applying and, all that stuff. And if you haven't got your scores, absolutely best of good luck. Please let me know how it goes. And that's that. All right, guys, thank you so much. If you like the video, make sure to click that like button. If you want to see more from the channel, make sure to click subscribe. And that's it. I will see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.